Hey everyone, Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a quick review of Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. This title is brought to you by Focus Entertainment and developed by Don't Nod. Now they did a game called Vampire a number of years ago which I played quite a lot of on Xbox. Also a very story-driven action RPG. Given the nature of that game and Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden, I want to be really careful in this review not to give away any of the emotionally driven narrative storyline. And trust me, this game is full of atmosphere and emotion. It really hit me at times. In this game, you will dive into a breathtaking story of love, death, and sacrifice, and you'll be delighted to discover the beautiful region of New Eden through the lens of its unique characters. The game arrives on February 13th, 2024 and is available on PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Now all of my game time was on the PC version, so there's going to be more of a focus on that platform in this review and some of the technical drawbacks. The advertised game time for this game is between 25 and 30 hours, but honestly, if you were really going to explore everything and play it through for all the achievements, you could probably put this at somewhere around 40 to 50. Okay, so this is an action RPG with a focus on storytelling. The player will take on the roles of Antea Duarte and Red McWraith, who are Luthers and Banishers. I won't go into what actually happens, but Antea is fatally wounded, becoming one of the sprites that she loathes. In the haunted wilds of North America, the couple then desperately search for a way to liberate Antea from her new plight. With one character essentially a sprite and the other a human, you have to then balance your gameplay between the two characters. One can visit the spirit world and the other is bound into the mortal realm. This does serve to create an interesting gameplay mechanic where Antea can see and do things that Red can't. It's up to the player to balance this approach in combat and when exploring the world. For example, one innovative combat mechanic is that you may strike an enemy with Antea and then instantly switch to Red to deal a combo or extra damage. The talents that you unlock within the game can then synergize this approach. Now, this is certainly not an open world game. You can't just explore everywhere. It is very much on rails with a little bit of free roam around the storyline. You are able to go back once you unlock certain abilities and get access to areas that you may have missed. And mostly, it didn't hinder the game. I enjoyed the focused approach and it was fun chasing the storyline. This really is credit to the immersive narrative. I fired this one up and 4 hours completely disappeared. I was totally immersed. The characters that you meet along the way in this adventure are very interesting and well voiced. There's a depth of emotion here and it really hit me when I had to banish my first ghost. I enjoyed the world building and the dark vibe to this game, and it does get pretty dark. This isn't a game for children at all. Now, one aspect I have to tackle because I saw it a lot in the Steam comments were, is this game woke? Now, getting involved in the culture wars doesn't interest me personally, but I will say, if inclusivity offends you, this game will probably tick that box. But for me, honestly, a French and a Scottish main character was offense enough. I am of course joking, but there were a few jibes in there about the English. And look, I will say, the dynamic between the two characters as you play is pretty good. If you get stuck, Antea will make suggestions, and I found these to be intelligent ones overall. The character development in this game was so strong that I didn't really care about any of the social consequences in the outside world. I just got attached to the characters and thought that the interaction between them both was very genuine and very compelling. If you're enjoying this quick review, make sure to give us a like, comment on the game, and subscribe to the channel. A lot of people broke the review embargo on this game and it really disappoints me. So if you want authentic gaming content, do subscribe to LT Gaming. One of the most interesting mechanics in the game is the ability to sacrifice, banish, or ascend certain ghosts that you come across. Once you gather all of the clues in a case, you will confront the individual and make a decision, and that decision has a lasting impact on what ending you have within the game. Some of these decisions were genuinely hard to make and heart-wrenching. I really wanted to call this mechanic out because it was very unique and it made me think, and it really is a reason to play the game. Combat within this title is sufficient. It can be fun and I specialise in a ranged character. However, overall I did sometimes tire of it and find it a little frustrating, especially the camera control. The ability to upgrade and customize my characters was also sufficient without being anything stand out for the genre. The highlight of this game is clearly the narrative experience and the choices that you get to make, and it's supported by sufficient gameplay elements. Graphically, this game really impressed me, and there were a number of times where I would just take the world in and look around. I will say overall, I did tire of the drab appearance. I would have liked to mix up the biomes just a tad more, but I guess they're stuck in New Eden and there's not a lot they can do about that. There were a lot of graphical options for this title, so you can customize it to your heart's content, but one thing that disappointed me as a PC player was the lack of an FOV slider. I definitely suffer with motion sickness in games when the FOV is too small, and on the HD screen that was a problem with this title. However, once I moved it to a super wide, that did alleviate the problem, but not all of us have access to that hardware. The only thing I will say about using the super wide screen is that the cutscenes don't go all the way out, and that can be a little immersion break-in when it suddenly jumps from gameplay into a cutscene. The lack of the FOV slider on PC does highlight that this could be a console title primarily. I do hope they patch this in. Sound and music in this title was excellent throughout, and I will say the voice acting is superb. The main characters are constantly jibing at each other, and I did find the interaction to be really interesting in this game. Overall, I would summarise by saying that Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden is a very strong narrative experience. If you're looking for a focused adventure to sit down and sink 40 hours into, you can't go far wrong with this game. The trade-off to this really strong narrative experience is it has its limitations. The gameplay mechanics that support it all do a sufficient job without really impressing the player. I would happily recommend this title and think it sits in the 7.5 out of 10 range. So there we go, LT Gamers, another quick review on the channel. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.